Hey guys, it's the Tech Kid again, and today we're going to be comparing the iPhone XR to the iPhone SE. So here we go. So we're going to be comparing the iPhone XR to the new iPhone SE. So getting on with it, the iPhone XR is starting at $599. Otherwise, the new iPhone SE will be starting at $399. So obviously the iPhone SE is way cheaper, and so the iPhone XR has a 6.1 inch display. Otherwise, the iPhone SE 2 has a 4.7 inch Retina HD display. Otherwise, the iPhone XR has a liquid Retina HD display. They both have a glass aluminum design with enabled wireless charging. They both have a single 12 megapixel wide camera, and the iPhone XR has a true depth camera, a 7 megapixel front camera with 1080p HD video recording with up to 60 frames per second, and the other one has a FaceTime HD camera with a 7 megapixel camera that can record 1080p HD with video recording at 30 frames per second. The iPhone XR has Face ID. Otherwise, the iPhone SE2 has Touch ID. The iPhone XR has the A12 Bionic chip with the second generation neural engine. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has an A13 Bionic chip with the third generation neural engine. So obviously, like speed-wise, the iPhone SE would be better, and the iPhone XR lasts up to 1.5 hours longer than the iPhone 8 Plus. But the iPhone SE lasts about the same as the iPhone 8. So obviously, the iPhone XR lasts 1.5 hours on the iPhone 8 Plus. So I think it would last longer than the iPhone 8. They're both water resistant to a depth of 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. The iPhone XR only has capacities of 64 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes, and 256 gigabytes. So you obviously have more choices there. As we said earlier, the iPhone XR has a liquid Retina HD display. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has a Retina HD display. It has a 6.1 inch lengthwise all-screen LCD multi-touch display with IPS technology, and the iPhone SE has the same, but the iPhone SE screen is obviously shorter with a 4.7 inch screen. The iPhone XR has 1,792 by 828 pixel resolution at 326 ppi. But the other one has 1,334 by 750 pixel resolution at 326 ppi. They both have a 1400 one contrast radio, typical, and they both have the True Tone display, and they have the same wide color display, the P3 wide color display. They both have haptic touch and the same amount of brightness. So like 625 nits max brightness, and the other one has the same. The size is the height of the iPhone XR is 5.94 inches. Otherwise, the iPhone SE is 5.45 inches. The width of iPhone XR is 2.98 inches. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has a 2.65 inches. So the depth of the iPhone XE, so like the thickness, is 0.33 inches, which the other one is 0.29. So obviously the iPhone SE is like a little bit thinner. The weight of the iPhone XR is 6.84 ounces. Otherwise, the iPhone SE is a lot lighter at 5.22 ounces. The iPhone, they're both splash water and dust resistant, and they both are IP67 with a maximum depth of 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. The iPhone XR has the A12 Bionic chip with the second generation neural engine. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has an A13 Bionic chip with the third generation neural engine. They both have the same single 12 megapixel wide angle camera, and they both have a f1.8 aperture. They both have optical image stabilization and digital zoom up to 5x. They both have the True Tone flash with slow sync. They both have portrait mode with advanced bulk and depth control. The iPhone XR only has 3 portrait lighting effects: natural, studio, and contour. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has 6 portrait lighting effects: natural, studio, contour, stage mono, and high key mono. The iPhone XR has smart HDR for photos, but the iPhone SE has like a better smart HDR for photos. Like it says next generation. They both have 4K video recording at 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. They both have 1080p video recording at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. They both have extended dynamic range for up to 30 frames per second. They both have optical image stabilization for video. They both have digital zoom up to 3x for video. The iPhone SE has quick take video, otherwise the iPhone XR doesn't. They both have slow-mo video support for 1080p at 120 FPS or 240 FPS. They both have time-lapse video with stabilization and stereo recording. The iPhone XR has a true depth camera. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has a FaceTime HD camera. They both have 7 megapixel photos with the front camera and f2.2 aperture. They both have the Retina flash, and the iPhone XR has smart HDR for photos. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has auto HDR for photos. They both have portrait mode, and for the front camera, the iPhone XR actually has 6 effects instead of 3: natural, studio, contour, stage mono, and high key mono. And the iPhone SE has the same. The iPhone XR has extended dynamic range for video at 30 frames per second. Otherwise, the other one doesn't. They both have cinematic video stabilization, 1080p and 720p. They both have the iPhone XR has 1080p HD video recording at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. Otherwise, the iPhone SE has a 1080p HD video recording at 30 frames per second. The iPhone XR has Animoji and Memoji. Otherwise, the other one doesn't have Animoji or Memoji. So, I think they have, the iPhone XR has LTE Advanced, but the other one has Gigabit Class LTE, which is Gigabit Class LTE is just like a marketing term. Most everything's the same with Wi-Fi and stuff like that. The iPhone XR has Face ID enabled by the True Depth camera for facial recognition, but the iPhone SE has second generation Touch ID with a second generation fingerprint sensor built into the home button. They both have the same Apple Pay except with Face ID and Touch ID. The Apple Card stuff is the same. They both have FaceTime video, and you can initiate video calls over Wi-Fi or cellular to any FaceTime-enabled device. They have audio calling with FaceTime audio, initiate and like you can initiate audio calls over Wi-Fi or cellular. They can voice over LTE, and they have Wi-Fi calling. The iPhone XR has a wider stereo playback, and the iPhone SE has just stereo playback. They both support Dolby Vision and HDR10 content. They have basically like the same like Siri things, so like they can use their voice to send messages, and like you can like get suggestions, and you could just say the Hey Siri thing, and like you can run shortcuts with the Shortcuts app that you have to download. I think we already covered the battery theft, but like the iPhone XR has video playback up to 16 hours, but the iPhone SE has like a slightly worse battery with video playback up to 13 hours. The video playback streamed is up to 8 hours on iPhone SE. Otherwise, the other iPhone XR like it doesn't have it. Audio playback is up to 65 hours on the iPhone XR. Otherwise, audio playback is up to 40 hours on the iPhone SE. They both have fast charge capable up to 50% charge in 30 minutes with an 18-watt adapter or higher. The higher 18-watt adapter is like sold separately. They both include AirPods with Lightning connector, so you're not going to be getting AirPods in the new iPhone SE. They both have the same sensors. They have dual SIM, nano SIM, and eSIM, and they're not compatible with existing micro SIM cards. And they both have lightning connection, and yeah. So that concludes my review of the iPhone SE versus the iPhone XR. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell button. As always, this is a Tech Kid signing off.